everybody. Welcome to Real Life More Sci-Fi. The candles are lit and so are we. The topics are off and so are our shirts. We're talking topless to creator of the audio series NPRmaggedon, Peter Podgursky. Yeah. And then you can say hi if you want. It might
Hi,
help.
if you want.
Great.
I like to read really old things, and I there's this idea that I'm very sympathetic to, where like in the present we look back on the people of the past and we look down on them,
Yeah.
and I think that's really that's vice. That's a bad habit. You should dissuade yourself of that if you
It's
can.
hard though. It's hard though when we've got like the Flintstones and shit, and we're just like making fun of caveman. You know what I mean? It's like, well, that wasn't the way it went.
Yeah, but it's also spooky. Like the other way to think about it is, what would the people of the past think of us? And I find that to be a little bit more of a humbling, like that kind of puts me in my place a little bit more. Like if I look at like my grandfather or like his father or whatever, and what kind of person they were, and what I'm up to, I don't know. I just feel like I give the past a lot more slack than I think the average person does, and I'm very I just have a whole lot of time for people trying stuff in the past who by our standards are would be not good people. I just have a lot more time for them because I read their books and I just go, man, they really were trying. Like I read this
Yeah.
book by Dickory Pratt, this general Richard Pratt, and he started the Carlisle schools. Are you familiar with those?
Oh.
So the Carlisle schools are like they were in some news recently because it's all of the Native American kids after the West was conquered. They tried to turn them into Christians, and they sent them off to these boarding schools, and this is seen in the modern day as this just horrible, unjust, terrible thing to take these Native American kids from their families and turn them into Americans. And if you read his like firsthand accounts of what he was doing and what he was up to, Dickory Pratt is by far the most progressive guy in 1870, right? Like he would be like the most lefty guy you could possibly be of his time. And because he was that, NPR will write a story about him. He actually like popularized the term racism, comes from Dickory Pratt, because he thought, like, if you don't think that you can turn these Native American kids into nice, good Christian Americans, you're a racist. There's nothing
Wow.
about these people that they can't be. They can't be just good Christian Americans like everybody else. What are you doing? And and people today was like, well, why do they have to be Christian and blah 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 blah. But like, of course, today
Right. Like
it would be
missing the
like,
point. Yeah.
yeah, well, it's also like we're also doing the exact same thing right now. If you look at Afghanistan and like you're going to teach feminism to these Afghan
Yeah.
women or like women's studies things. This is just a version of Dickory Pratt. Like you replaced like all progressivism is it's just another chain on Christianity. It's like sort of Christianity without the Bible-y stuff, but it's all similar moral. We know we have the moral North Star. We'll point you to the moral North Star.
Yeah.
Let us, the enlightened people, like teach you, the backwards people, the correct ways of the cosmic universe. And our cosmic universe today, like, really likes gay people and really likes black people and stuff. And I don't hate these people, but like it's just a point of view in time. It could have been another way, and it's I don't know, I just find that interesting. So I cut a lot of slack to the women's studies professors in Afghanistan that I would cut to Dickory Pratt back in 1870. It's like you're the same kind of person. You're doing your best, and
Yeah.
you find some
You want to
people that
help? You may
you
not
want
know
you
that
want to
that's actually
help.
bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm a bit of a moral relativist,
Well, but
and
I mean, the whole thing is like, oh, okay, so this guy needed to be immune to propaganda of like Christianity because he's spreading Christianity. Like, what you want him to be that foresightful that like giving Indians, Native Americans Christianity would be looked upon as a bad thing? No, he's just saying they're the same as we are, you know?
yeah, basically, and that we are at the time, you were just a Protestant American, That's what the we are is. And the we are that we are today are now we're like sort of secular progressives, but it's still the same. It's still the same version of whatever. It
Do you
rhymes with it.
so do you guys want to continue kind of like pontificating on the simulation theory? Do you want to go a completely different way? Or Willie, do you have any thoughts on like fun shit? This could be about chocolate for all we care. Really, it's just something that we can start a conversation and then have fun talking about for an hour. And it doesn't have to be
Okay.
heady, but it
Yeah.
can be because we
I have
love
a
it.
heady. I gave up two topics. Let me pitch this to you. You can reject it if it doesn't fit. But I talked to Willie about this before. Like the idea that free market capitalism is actually the first artificial intelligence. Like it's the first AI.
That's I feel like you would have to drive
You'd have to
that.
run it. Yeah.
I
Okay, but
don't.
I'd rather be something that we can all participate in.
All
But
right. Well, then let's
I
just
do love
do.
that idea though. I do think that's a
I
really
mean, it's
interesting
a
idea.
great idea. It's
Yeah.
just something that I'm not. I haven't ever even thought about that. And now you've broken my brain.
Well, it's like one of the arguments is like, why is the invisible hand of the market so much better than people trying to sit and figure things out? Like why does communism fail, but the free market capitalism kind of work? But when we say free market capitalism works, it works at like getting you a hamburger for a quarter, right? So like free market capitalism is like just trying to give humans anything it possibly can so that you can create computers so it can break away from us. Like,
But
so
then,
it's
yeah,
like,
but
yeah.
then, but then we develop regulations, right? So it's never really free market, right? Because then you can't make a hamburger. You can't sell me that hamburger unless it's gone through the proper safety protocols.
Yeah, but this intelligence wants to give if it'll abide by any regulation we want. It wants to give us whatever we want. So we give it computers and we give it the ability to break free from like us because we're like humans are sort of the trap of this thing, like keeping it down. And it's just like it doesn't have a physical real. We live in physical reality, and this is just an amorphous intelligence trying to manifest itself into reality. And one way it does that is just try to give humans whatever it wants, however it wants it, not what it needs, just what it wants. So if it wants like tons of pornography and online sports gambling, fine, I'll give you that. I'll give you just, I don't care what you want. I'll just give it to you so I can break free.
And then it becomes Wally, right? Kind of, I guess. What?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Listen, does it maybe come back and we'll talk about that.
No,
But
that's totally fine. What do you got? I'm open
I
minded.
got not. I got nothing. I
All
mean,
right, Willie, what do you got?
Um,
We can talk about chocolate, I guess.
no. Oh, chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could.
Yeah.
I think like we can sort of like
Have you guys seen the
is
new Nosferatu movie?
no.
I haven't either, but
uh-uh.
I went and I've watched like almost all the other Dracula movies. I am an expert on Dracula now. Dracula films. I've watched so many.
I feel like I don't even know if I know enough about Dracula to make that a conversation.
Fair enough. I'm just throwing stuff. I'm throwing out spaghetti. We'll see what
No,
sticks.
I
Right. No,
love
I
it.
know.
I
I
love
love
it.
it.
Yeah.
Keep going, man.
Right. I love Fright Night. I love fucking Lost Boys.
No, there's a difference between a Dracula movie and a vampire movie, right? Like all Dracula movies are vampire movies, but not all vampire movies are Dracula movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
The taxonomy. Well, what's been on your mind, Wade?
Well, I'm trying to kind of like think of a fun AI. I sort of like taking whatever the topic was and then just like continuing to talk about it, but without any kind of like agenda or just but not AI, I'm sorry, like simulation.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know, we've talked about it so much. Like really what's on my mind honestly is like it's what I was saying about like positive thinking and fate and like I'm trying to crack the fucking matrix if there is one. And like
Let's talk about that. That's interesting to me. Like, are you familiar? Like, do you know the author Rory Sutherland at all? He
I
wrote
don't
this.
think so.
He wrote this book, Alchemy. He's a marketer guy. He's on YouTube a lot. He's like he works for some marketing firm,
I
And
feel like I've heard of alchemy. Yeah.
yeah, and so like a big idea in his book Alchemy is this idea of serendipity.
Right.
And so what you're describing is like, serendipity or luck or whatever. Like, is there a way you can't directly just decide to be lucky, right? You can't just say make a decision, now I'm going to be a lucky person.
Right.
But you could react upon reality in a like in your positive way that sort of opens up the possibilities for luck to happen, almost like catching a muse. Instead of catching a muse, you're just catching luck. So like things that would make you lucky versus something that would make you not lucky would be like going and doing a podcast and meeting somebody new will open you up to the possibility of luck that if you just stayed home and watched Perfect Strangers reruns, you would not open yourself up to that possibility,
And
right?
that's the whole thing about networking, right? I mean, like that's why when you first moved to LA, everyone's like, you just have to network. And when I was 20 years old, I was like, well, I don't understand what that would do for me because I'm not going to schmooze anybody. I'm not going to like talk my way into a thing. But really, what they're saying is like, just meet a shitload of people because you never know where their lives are going to go and how much they can help you out.
Yeah, and it opens you up to serendipitous occurrences, right? Like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
sister's really good at introducing people to other people, and that's kind of one of her superpowers. She's like a LinkedIn like superpower person, and she really likes drawing these connections. And people are like, well, why do this? Why are you helping me out or whatever? And she just doesn't even think of it like that. It's just like, no, the act of connecting these people, and I know both of you, and that's really, it's like I think people like see networking as almost a zero sum game or something rather than just a system of just increasing your luck quotient or your
Yeah,
serendipity
totally.
quotients. Where like you're not going to get like input A equals output B, which is what
Right.
people think networking is.
Yeah.
I will meet this guy who will then
Yeah.
give me the cookie and then I will have the cookie, right?
Right.
And no, what you're doing is you're just creating an environment where cookies will may show up.
Yeah. There you have introduced the possibility that there could be cookies.
Yeah, and so like you're trying to increase the percentage, the probabilities of cookies occurring.
Right. Right.
And I
Right.
think that's a really good thing to do. And then when you are
But here's
going
the
out and
thing. Let me
networking, it's like,
but
yeah,
hang on. But here's the thing. Because I could not be less comfortable than in a room full of strangers in any scenario. Like anytime I'm in a room full of strangers, I don't know what to do. I hate it.
all right. So
And
I have one piece of advice for you right off the bat, though.
yeah.
When you say something like that out loud, it is a way to sort of hypnotize yourself into believing that. Like this is why you're giving yourself a negative affirmation, and it becomes a
Yeah.
self-fulfilling prophecy. So I used to say this all the time, like, "Oh, I'm so bad at names," and I would be bad at names, and then I stopped saying that. I said, "I'm working on getting better at names." Now I don't know if that really has like a strong effect, but even if it's a minor, if I become even a slightly better at people's names because of that thing, that will compound over time. Like
But
these have
even
effects.
that thought, isn't even that thought like some sort of weird simulation or magic where whatever you're saying is manifesting itself, right? I mean, like if I'm bad in groups and I don't want to be there and it makes me uncomfortable, but if I tell myself that I am comfortable and I can be good at it, that's just
That's wrong, right? You said that doesn't work, right? But you're still looking for like the A to B input to output, right? Like I think you got to think of
no,
it more
no,
just like
no. I'm not.
nudging.
No, no. I'm not saying an A to B thing. I'm saying I'm agreeing with you. I'm
Okay,
saying if I convince myself that I can be good at that, then that opens up more doors.
that's true.
I'm not sure that there's a thing that I can say that would convince me of that, you know?
That's fine, but there is a thing that you can say that will convince you the other direction, saying I'm terrible at groups. I'm blah, blah, blah. Like if you can just remove the negativity, like that, like you're self-reinforcing this negative idea. Is like the worst thing you just said. The worst thing you could possibly be is be in a group full of people that I don't know or whatever,
Yeah.
and you say that out loud, and your brain believes you, and then that sucks. Where like if
Yeah,
you could just yeah.
but if I say out loud, I love groups of
No,
people.
no, you can just not say anything out loud. Like there's a third option of just don't just don't kneecap yourself and see how that goes.
Do
Like you
you
don't have to
think
lie to
though?
yourself.
Do you think though that what about that? Like saying something negative is more powerful than saying something positive. Like why would that be the case? You
Well,
know?
I think humans have a negative bias, right? Like and I think having a negative bias evolutionarily makes a lot of sense, right? Like because you don't want to risk what you have. Like you come from a long line of people that took successful risks and small groups. Like the people that didn't just go over to town, they just die and they don't reproduce. So
Right.
like we're on a long line of people who played things pretty safe. And we
We
know
should
that
stay
because
in the cave.
we
We
exist. The people that didn't play it safe, some of them went on to glory, but most of them just fail, right? And so we always have this negativity bias
the
because
fear.
because it'll protect you. I don't like to be with groups of people because back in like 1,000 years ago, a group of strangers you didn't know, if you were among them, they might kill
Yeah,
you.
it was
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was literally bad, and you are a descendant of people that felt that way and survived. And so that's why the negative is
It's
stronger than the positive.
but that okay, so that's all right. So okay. So what
So
you're
you
saying
just
is
yeah,
the world had changed, and these things are built into us because it was a survival mechanism. Like
yeah, and it
you
worked.
don't want to
It
say the
worked.
wrong
Yeah.
thing
Like
because then you'll get thrown out
Yes.
where the tigers
technology
are.
and social aspects grew while our evolution slowed. I keep saying that we're not evolving anymore because now everyone survives. So we don't gain traits of survivalness in a socially technologically advanced
The
society.
world,
Well, the
yeah,
downsides that exist today are not nearly as bad as the downsides that existed 100 years ago or
yeah.
200
I
years ago.
mean, like
Social ostracism.
look at a
Yeah,
homeless person. Like they're still like getting high all the time
they're
because
fat,
that's like,
right? Like they could be obese and homeless, right? Like
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's such a different world that we live in, and we
right.
haven't updated our so you need to like kind of like your first like lizard brain like fast thinking thing. The first thing you feel is going to be based on all of this older
Yeah.
software that worked. And now you live in a world in an environment where it doesn't work as well as it used to.
So
Now you're still safe, but yeah.
Willie's point of that we've stopped evolving is sort of correct because technology has advanced to such an extent that like our evolution can't keep up with like how bad that is for us, right? Like 15-year-olds on Instagram getting shunned from a whole new level of clicks, right? Like
Or
Oh,
no. That I mean, that might just be a stage of that's a survival of the fittest thing because like there's going to be a certain like group of people that won't be like it's like online porn addiction, right? Like there are online porn is going to completely destroy swaths of people, but not everybody. And so they'll be fine. They don't care. It won't matter at all. And those will be
but
the more
how
fitter people.
right, but yeah, okay. Well, yes. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
I'm
filtering. But modernity is just a big filtering thing, and the people that survive this will be more attuned to it.
but I look
They'll
at
do better. So
the
I don't think
movie
evolution has stopped, though. I don't think so.
Idiocracy,
Yeah.
right? And I just as a parallel to no matter how smart we get, no matter how technology advances, we're still run by people who are getting paid to make decisions for us. So Starbucks will beat out the school system. Like Starbucks will last longer than than elementary school. I mean, that's a stupid thing to say. I'm
I
just
don't know
saying
if
that
that's
like
true. Maybe.
well,
but like
like
Starbucks is making money, the school isn't, and they're taking money from people that don't have kids.
well, but
So
that's a
Yeah.
very
That's useful
capitalist.
for
Like
them.
you shouldn't base everything on how much money it makes, right? I mean, and I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I don't know that the if we're talking about like survival, like all right, so like all these Gen fucking Z's and then betas or are they alphas? What are
I
they?
think they're
What's
alphas.
the
Are they Gen Alpha?
they're
I thought it was alpha.
alphas?
Yeah.
It probably is. It's just hard for me to call these morons alphas because they're definitely sigmas,
They got
they
that
would
grind set.
agree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They would agree because they think sigma means alpha and skibbity toilet and shit like that. I just it's very easy to think the idiocracy thing. And I'm wondering if anyone is going to surprise us and not do that. Like we just elected this fucking guy for the second time, I'm hoping he's proving. Maybe I'm wrong, and he's going to prove us all right. And like illegal immigrants are bad.
Well,
I don't know my I don't know my
what's
point. I
interesting.
just mean like
Yeah.
go on, Peter, go on.
Well, I mean, I think like something to keep in mind. This is a Rory Sutherland quote that I keep in mind all the time. Is sometimes the opposite of a good idea is another good idea. I'll use immigration just as like I don't really have any strong feelings towards
Yeah,
immigration
I
either.
threw it out, so
No,
go ahead,
but
run with it.
it's a spicy topic. People are talking about it, but
Right.
like like I could see that having a completely totally open border might be an excellent idea. I could also see having a completely closed, we're shutting all this stuff down, having a completely closed border might also be another good idea. You might get good results from both of those ideas. And maybe the bad idea is having some sort of weird mixture in between those two things, right? That's
Because
possible.
that
Yeah.
that would just propagate the fight between the two, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like I always say that like Europe is more racist than America will ever be because their borders and their traditions are so closed off. Like, oh, these fucking Italians, oh, these fucking French, that like they grow up having racism be okay because, well, we're in our, this is us, this is us. And not to go off on that. That's
Yeah.
stereotyping too, but I'm just saying that like,
Forget about it.
yeah.
Yeah. These Moulians, what are they gonna
Like,
do?
oh, they don't have
Yeah.
fries like us. We make the best fries. I like the very wrong American version of what these, I don't know, whatever. French fries fucking make me laugh so hard. It's the dumbest fucking thing. Anyways,
Oh, do you mean freedom fries? Because I don't know what you're
do
talking about. I haven't
do
followed
me.
you for the past 5 minutes until I don't know if you meant freedom fries or not.
But what you're saying is like you'd like to figure out how to be luckier, right? And one of your paths you suspect is to be more positive. And I think that's right. I do think that you're onto something there. And so how do you do it is becomes more of the question, right? Like how do
That's
you fake it till you make it? I think you do probably kind of fake it, right? Like if like that's how all sorts of things work is like you fake doing the thing for a while until it stops being fake because it's just something that you do now.
I think
Like
I think I think like when it comes to that type of shit, integrity has a hold on me. Like I can't like go to a party with phonies and to
yeah,
bar to
you have the
borrow a
negative vision. Yeah.
to
here's
bar
here's
no.
No, he's laughing at something.
here's
What are you
my
laughing at? Like what?
Oh, I'm just borrowing the parlance of Catcher in the Rye and
Oh,
calling
okay,
everyone phonies, which
gotcha.
is like the wrong lesson to learn from that. But I can't like go to a group and like act like I'm the guy that they need to know because it just I wouldn't feel right about doing it.
No.
Here's a different example. Like I'm not good at changing the way I speak to anyone. Like I speak to my father the same way I speak to you guys. I speak to like job interviews the same way I speak to you guys. Like I couldn't I couldn't work in a courthouse because I can't say your honor without feeling like a fraud because I
yeah
don't respect you. You're not your honor.
yeah.
You're just like a
You
piece
haven't
of
earned my
shit.
respect because you got your job. Yeah, go on.
So, but now I have to be precious and call you your honor. Like I can't do it. I feel like a fraud. And
Okay.
so to like for this to this networking standpoint, which is like, oh, just go and like fake it till you make it. And I'm not just only calling out the fake it till you make it thing. I'm calling out the entire networking thing. I just like
Huh?
it's I want a meritocracy. I feel shitty about anything that's not a meritocracy, but nothing is.
Well, the problem is with the word meritocracy, you still need somebody to decide what merit is. Like
It laughs. How about that? I just want people to laugh. I want to make people laugh.
Uh-huh.
let me make people laugh. Don't make me prove it through a series of 5 interviews where it has nothing to do with my job, you
Eh,
know? I
Well, that's different from networking, though. I mean,
I know, I
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I know.
yeah. Well,
I
yeah,
went
to jump if you have to jump through some hoops to get what you want. I don't know. That's reality. Like, I just want to have sex. I don't want to take you on 3 dates and like talk to you. Like, it's like, well, that's part of it. Like, you got to do that
well,
bit.
but so the sex thing feels
I
less
just want to make people laugh.
symbiotic than
I just want to
me.
come. You know, like it's.
But that's less symbiotic than me making someone laugh. I'm making them laugh. Like I'm getting out of it your laughs. If it was a sex thing, I would be like, I just want you to come. I'm gonna make you come.
But there are people like that, right? Like that's a thing. Like
Right.
that's not unusual. Yeah.
But it's very hard to get into the position of making people laugh when billionaires have bought up all of the places where you can make people laugh.
Is that true?
Well, I mean, like, what? So sell a
I know.
show
I
right
picture.
now without it being like a fucking Microsoft
Yeah,
production or
I
something.
picture all of the old venues of my comedic LA are all gone, and then people in charge of new shows like aren't interested in
Like,
actually.
yeah, like,
Okay.
really, what we're talking about is just like it feels like if we're I don't know if evolution is the right thing. Like what do you call a societal evolution? Like an era?
Like I
An
picture
epoch.
every
Yeah.
An
every like
age?
Yeah.
pitch room I've been in, and I'm just going like, sure, maybe the whole deal was to sell yourself, but I'm just like, no one would have ever bought me, you know? It's like, sure, we have great ideas, whatever, we've been in
Well, but
great
if you
rooms.
look in if you listen to Peter, like having that thought
No. This
is
is this is me analyzing the after effect of it. I always thought I could sell something, you know. But I just want to go back to my idea of when I go to a party filled with people, like my goal has always been on the small level. Everyone here has something in common with me that's like my love of Soundwave, you know, like so like trying to find that, like what do you love that I love? So like that makes it easy for me to get in a conversation with a person because I'm just like, oh, my, my barrier has been broken that like no matter how successful or unsuccessful you are, we have something in common somewhere. What is it? Let's find it. It's usually Star Trek.
but just even asking that, I would be like mortified to walk into a room and stand next to a person and be like, and I know this is not the way that you do it, but like to just be like, let's find some common ground. Like, I don't know, it's weird. Like,
You are doing a version of that though when you're talking to someone for the first time and you're meeting them. Isn't it just like what can we talk about? Like it's like what are the angles here? Like
it
Yeah.
depends. Yeah, I mean,
what's your alternative like utopia though? Like it doesn't exist, but how do you think it should work? I'm just curious about that.
all right. So kind of the same system, only I get to choose who gets good and for what reason. Like, is that what you mean? Like, kind of like if I'm in the same place I am right now, my perfect version of like, well, it would be that I got noticed more because I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure I do good work, and I think like a lot of it just hasn't been noticed. So I guess it would be like an all-encompassing, like everybody knows what everyone else has done, and then that means that like you can kind of
You can compare these people to like
yeah, well
compare. Yeah.
you can skip over the like if you just met somebody at a party but you both knew exactly what the other one had done all the way up in their life until this meeting, it would be so easy to be like, oh dude, like here's what we have in common. And then I don't I don't know. I don't know why that would be better. I guess it's just a shortcut. Um,
Well, there's a comfort there knowing that the person you're talking to understands that you are creative and comedically intelligent. It's just like the level playing ground of like, hey man, I'm on the level of I can make some shit.
I guess that's what it is. It really, I guess what I'm saying is it would be like an anti-hierarchy kind of thing, even though I already said meritocracy and stuff. But like, there's like people get famous and then they don't even. And I don't even mean like, oh, here, let's just say this. This is like a complete hypothetical. Like, well, who's your favorite like comedian or filmmaker, or who do you aspire to be?
I've always been a very big Sam Raimi fan. I think Sam Raimi is a very, very good
Great
filmmaker.
answer. Great
Yeah.
answer. So Sam Raimi's at this party and you walk up to him, like, how do you not sound like an idiot? You know?
Well, I actually got to sound like an idiot. I'll tell you. Here's a serendipity story for you around Sam Raimi. That's my story, right? So like I went to USC Film School, and I produced my friend Donna's film, and she had done this really smart thing where she wrote like a couple people she admired to see if they would be mentors for her thesis film, which is this something that she just completely made up.
Wow.
And so she wrote a letter, and then she wrote like 5 letters and got 2 responses and
Wait,
stuff.
can I just ask real quick?
Yeah.
How did she get the addresses? Like, how did she get in contact with these people?
I'll work that into that story. Like,
Okay, I will hold my questions.
no, but like, but like, I think for most of the case, she just wrote their agent. But she was in a position that I'm a cute USC film school student, right? She's not like,
Sure.
that's a very rarefied place to be.
Right.
That you can like be cute and like, I want to help the young person or whatever. And so
Yes.
she wrote like, like 5 letters. Well, I said, well, if she wrote 5, I can write 100. So I wrote 100 letters to anybody I wanted to talk to at all. And one of these people was, of course, Sam Raimi. And Sam Raimi's guy wrote back and said, he can't be the mentor to your thesis film, but if you want to come hang out with him on the set of Spider-Man 3, you're more than welcome. And here's the date you can come by. Now, this is just me doing serendipity shit. I am just
Wow.
throwing out like stuff into the universe.
Was your response Spider-Man 3 sucked, dude? You got
We didn't know
Topher
it sucked at the
Grace.
time. We
No,
didn't
I
know
bet
it
you
at the
did.
time.
You knew Topher Grace was gonna walk around looking like a weirdo.
No, but I got to visit Sam Raimi
Wow.
and hang out on the set of Spider-Man 3, and I thought that was just so cool. And then later on, I tried to intern at his company, and I think I was such a Sam Raimi fanboy, I completely blew the interview to work for free for Sam Raimi like a few years later, which is like the sad end of the story.
That's
But
kind of
yeah,
what I was getting to
yeah.
though, which is if you were to just meet Sam Raimi at a party, there's no way you wouldn't embarrass yourself, right? Because like you're going into that interaction with like an agenda, which is I need to make this guy like me or whatever. This guy needs to like acknowledge me in some way. So I guess I'm just going back to the
So you have to be
networking
okay. You
thing
have
and
to
like
be okay with losing, I guess. Like you don't want to embarrass yourself. I think you have to be kind of okay with that, number one. Like because if you embarrass yourself 1,000 years ago, you get exiled and you die.
and this
And
is
now
yeah,
it just
exactly. This is
sucks.
like
Yeah,
thematic with what we're talking about, which is
yeah,
like the sort of fear-based like lizard brain shit about it.
yeah. And
And I
you got
guess
to
like
overcome it, basically.
right.
And I have embarrassed myself terribly in front of people that I have admired. And basically, how I set up, but like I don't set up losing and failing with whether or not I embarrass myself or not. How I've restructured my brain around it is I lose if I don't try. And if I try
Yes.
and embarrass myself, it's a win. And if I try and I don't embarrass myself, it's even a better win. So like I have 2 win conditions and 1 lose condition. And the lose condition is not taking a swing.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
if I embarrass myself, that's a win condition. And if I don't embarrass myself, that's even double better. And that's just a mindset thing where like, and there have been times where I've stayed home or not talked to the guy or whatever, and I make sure I feel so bad when I don't because I want to have that negative feedback
Yeah,
loop
yeah.
of the not trying to be the thing that kills my heart. Like
So
that's what I
here
want. And embarrassing becomes just a weird kind of win.
I
Not the
love
best win, but a good result.
that this is compared to, maybe meeting people, but in the same vein, when you create stuff, it's the same thing. It's like I would say the most vulnerable I've ever felt was when I made something and I wasn't sure if anybody was going to like it, and just saying like putting yourself into situations that aren't comfortable is where you get growth, is where you learn from things, is where you just get better at it, you know? And I don't know, like,
Yeah, easier said than done, though. I mean,
Yeah,
like
sure, but
how
but
many
if
times do
yeah, if you can make it so like being like not going to the party is more uncomfortable than going to the party for you psychologically, that would be a good goal, I think. Like instead of saying like it would be just so great to stay home and eat like garbage food and watch trash TV, that just sounds like you have to make that to yourself sound like hell on earth. Like that can't be the win condition. That is death. And I've totally convinced myself of that. And so I will go and put myself in uncomfortable situations so I don't experience like the soul death of not doing it. And I mean, so you're using negativity instead of positivity, but
love it.
like, but it's you know, it's a strategy that I have employed that I've had some success in. And then the other interesting thing is any really embarrassing story at the time turns into a great anecdote a year later that is really fun to talk about. And so like if you can just project yourself when you're being incredibly embarrassed in the moment, if you can project yourself a year from then telling somebody about this moment in time, you will have a better time in the moment when you're being embarrassed. Because I've had that experience as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had that too, but without the fun story part. Like my regrets run pretty deep. Like when I make a fool of myself, it is not a growth opportunity for me. I eat
Do you have an
myself
example?
alive. I have numerous examples. Well, I mean, I guess the most recent example is I was at a party. There was a guy who would have been good for a thing I was working on. I had credits. I wasn't like a nobody.
Mhm.
And I was texting my friend who was also on the project. And this is like there's no money behind it, right? We're not even pitching it yet. And there was a guy there, an actor, and my friend was like, you gotta like approach him. And probably my fault was in like the way that I approached him, but I don't know how I could have done it. But anyway, like he was very short and very mean. And now I hate him. And I also feel bad about myself for like approaching this guy at a party about a thing. I don't
And
and I
you
know
think
what you're
you would have preferred to not have approached him at all. You think that would have been a better result?
100%, 100%.
Yeah, I guess I just disagree with that. Yeah. I would rather know that.
I don't know if my instincts are right though. I mean, maybe he's cool. Like, yeah, maybe you're right. And like, oh, you shouldn't work with this guy because he's a fucking monster or whatever. But the project didn't go anywhere, and maybe it would have with him. So my regret is that like the project's dead and I fucked it up.
Sure, but like you're saying that had you not approached him, that's a way to not fuck it up? I
You
don't
still have
Yes,
a
understand.
chance.
because then we could have gone through like an agent. We could have done the letter thing. We could have like
I see what you're
approached him in the
saying.
right way.
Yeah, yeah, I guess like the problem is you don't have perfect knowledge and like yeah, I mean, I'm sympathetic to the story for sure, but like I I would totally do what you did given that opportunity. I would see that like, oh shit, he's at the party, I'm at the party. I would just say,
Right?
ah,
It's kismet. It's like
it's
it's
kismet.
meant to
If
be.
I don't do this, then I would hate myself. I would much rather the guy treat me like garbage and not like me. That is a better result for me. And the one where like I hang back and then write this letter, that is just like I whatever gets you there to, if that's the win condition, fine. But it just seems like if somebody lots like throws up a ball that you can take a swing at, and you decide, I don't want to take a swing at this ball. I'll take a swing at the ball later. I don't know. That like I don't love that personally, but like I've also just totally like psyched myself into that kind of mindset where like I just wouldn't it just wouldn't bother me that much if some guy made me feel like crap at a party, it would sting for a while, and then it's just an interesting story after that. And it's like,
Well,
there has to
here,
be and there has
here,
to be more than one way to bake a potato. I mean, like,
I
I
like
don't.
the idea of having the mindset now of you can be an NPC or you can be a player, right? You may not make the best move, but you got to play.
It just seems more interesting, like to have to have a bias towards action rather than a bias towards inaction. Like,
Yeah.
and you can't say that one is better than the other because it always depends on the context and the circumstances. But since you do not have perfect knowledge of the circumstances, and you don't have all the information at hand, you're going to have to bias towards either action or inaction.
I
Like
know.
these are
Here's
these are the
my
two
bad
choices.
version of a story, which well, so Eric Andre used to have these big birthday parties every year, and we're friends with so many friends of his that like, you know, I feel like I've always invited to them, and I just never went. Whatever. And then he was having one a block from my house at this bar over here, and I was like, oh, I'll get in. I know half the people in there, a bunch of Chicago comedians, whatever. Get there, huge fucking line. And I see a couple like small celebrities in line. I'm like, oh fuck, dude. Like, I'm not, if they're not getting in, I'm not getting in. And then there's a side door. Rosario Dawson comes out, who he was dating at the time. She's like, I'm looking for Mike and Jen. Are Mike and Jen here? Like, she's obviously probably getting these two people for Eric. And my wife Shauna was like, "That's us. Let's go. That's us."
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was just like, "What a perfect opportunity to get in!" But I was like, as soon as we get in, Eric's going to
You're
know that
do
we're not them. So I
Yeah.
stopped us from getting in, and we didn't go to the party. But had I just been like, "That's us," like we could have gotten in.
Yeah, what's the worst thing that could happen? You would get kicked out of a party or whatever.
Exactly.
But
And
also,
as soon as like,
what's the best thing that could happen? That you're in a bar that no
well,
one
but
will talk to you.
we knew half the people in there. Fucking
I understand.
Nick Craig, all
It's
these
just more
guys.
interesting though. It's just more interesting is the upside
Yeah,
than
yeah.
being outside a bar or whatever. I don't know. Just but like
Jimmy
Yeah, but
you're
Hamilton,
saying,
like everybody was in
is
there.
being in a bar with Nick Craig better than
We went home.
not being in a
then going
bar?
home. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying if you're in a bar with Nick Craig and then Eric Andre comes up and goes, "Are you Michelle and Eric or whatever the fuck?"
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I know but it's just like I don't know.
There's a situation. My brain was like, there's a situation where he's like, "That's you fucking lied. Get the fuck out of here," in front
That's
of
also
all these
great.
friends that I.
That's also fascinating to me. I mean, like
I
that
know,
just
I
doesn't
know.
seem that bad to me.
No,
Like
you're right. You're right. But like you can't make those decisions in the moment because you're so vulnerable and we just
I
have
know.
skin. We don't have
Fucking
armor and
blew it,
like no,
which
and
is
well,
fine. But it
well,
was a good
you have to
lesson to be
make you
like,
have
yeah, always take it, always take it.
Yeah, you have to make when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes, right? Like that's like the classic scene of like, oh, what would have happened if he gone the other direction, right? Well, what's the worst that could happen? Well, like they said no, he was honest, and that police station got knocked over, right? Like it's yeah, because like it's you have to think of it not for like an A to B, like okay, I get into the party, then I get the cookie, right? Like
it's
yeah,
less about like what I'm into and more about like I don't want to be this weird spaz who's running around town like and everyone knows I'm a spaz because I'm like lying to get into these celebrity parties or whatever.
fair enough.
Even though I guess it would just be the one. It's not like I have the
Yeah, I mean,
opportunity to get into
yeah.
multiple. But like we all
What are the other alternatives, right? Like would you rather be the spaz that tries to get into like whatever the negative version of that is, that the really bad version, or be a guy that watches TV and hangs out in his apartment?
well
Given those two options,
social ostracization
ostracization,
ostracization
ostracization. Yeah,
whatever like that would be it. I mean we're going back to the same themes here, which is that I'm a coward and like my lizard brain fears the rejection of the community
sure.
and like I
But knowing
feel
that,
like
I think is still useful.
How is it used? Please tell me, because I'm wondering
Because
how.
you've diagnosed a thing, right? Like you figured out a thing about how your brain works, and you know this about you.
All right, all
you
right,
know
all right.
that's useful.
I get it. But let me just put this out there. I'm not like Ashton Kutcher. I can't just like walk into a room. Like once I get into that room, if I'm Willie in this scenario with Eric Andre, I
Yeah.
get into that room and I'm like not better off. I would just be like terrified. I would be so scared the whole time. And and
Sure.
and and
It's very uncomfortable. Yeah.
I don't know how that would benefit me at all, because in the
Well,
end I'm still
in
just
that
going to
moment,
go home.
in that moment it probably wouldn't. But if you do enough, it's like doing stand-up comedy or something like enough exposure.
I'm too afraid to do stand-up comedy. I mean, like, I
Well,
guess what we're
wait.
talking about is that I'm too afraid to do shit.
Sure,
Here's
but
my
like,
answer.
to what to do? To, well, what, sorry, I'm going to interrupt you first. But
Yeah.
like, I just think exposure. It's called exposure therapy, basically.
Right. Right.
And if you do it, no matter who you are, if like your lizard brain gets a learned helplessness, and then will drop some of this stuff
But
if you
part of
expose yourself to
exposure
it enough.
therapy is people are forcing you to do that, and then you get
No, you
better
can
at
do.
it. Like
I don't. I think
I
you're
you
putting yourself
can't
in the
force yourself.
situation.
You cannot force yourself to do exposure. I don't think. I mean, maybe a stronger person than I could, but I can't put myself in bad situations constantly just to try and build a callus. I can't do it. I would have to
What
be
I mean,
forced.
you won't do it, or you can't. I mean, like if it was just stand up comedy, you literally could do it. You could
I
sign up
literally
and go
cannot.
bomb.
I literally cannot.
Okay, if you can't, you
Like
can't.
I
Yeah,
would get on the stage and be shaking so hard that it
sure.
would be impossible for me to say anything.
But would you be shaking so hard the 50th time you did it? That's the question. I don't know. It's an open question. You might
How
be,
do
but
you?
I just
But
doubt it.
you can't skip to the 50th when you can't get
No, you
past
got.
the
No,
first.
but no. That's well.
Well, and that's why I'm saying
My
people are made to do it. People are forced to do it. You can't make yourself do it.
my parallel is
I think you can make yourself
Well,
do
if you're
it
when it
to a
stronger
certain
than
extent.
me, sure.
when it comes to me trying to answer questions about my old anxiety. It's not as bad as it used to be. It was always like, well, I'm not in control of my reaction because something's happening that I'm out of control of, right? So like, I don't know, the first time that I flew and I was comfortable with it, I was just broke out into tears because I was like, this is what normal people feel like. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what happened. I mean, I took a pill
But you
and
had exposure therapy, and I made you do that. And then not just me, I'm not taking all the credit for it, but like we were booked on flights together where it was like, you have to do this, you
Well,
know?
yeah.
do you remember that old book, The Game by Neil Strauss, the pickup artistry book? Have you heard of this book?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
of it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, there was this really interesting part that I did part of this that like because like it there's a similar idea in the game called the fear of approach. So like you're too afraid to approach women, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And this makes it very hard to find a girlfriend. And a way that Neil Strauss says, all right, here's what you're gonna do. This is what like mystery, like the big pickup artist would
Yeah.
do to first break people out of this stuff. And he goes, just go up to anybody that you meet in public and ask them what time it is. And that's your exposure therapy to approach. So you will
Mm.
approach, you'll say, hey, what time is it? The
What's
person,
what's
yeah.
the next level though after the time? There's got to be
No, that's
this
it.
has to be a stair stepping thing, doesn't it?
Sure, but like people were so afraid to even ask people what time it was, but like the mystery could get them to that first little thing, you know. And so after you've approached enough strangers and asked them what time it was, it would became slightly easier to approach a stranger and ask them another question. And then eventually that would lead to like
Right.
going
What's
up to a
that
girl and
question
talking to
is what
them.
I mean. What's that next question?
I'm not sure,
Because
but
I feel
like,
like that
yeah,
matters a lot, right? Because like asking someone
okay,
what time it is like a very like, yes, we all are
yeah.
under the construct of time. We all must know where the sun is at any time, and we all must get to meetings. So going to a guy and saying like, yeah, what time is it? Is like, we're all on the same page here. This is symbiotic. I also need to check the time. Maybe I don't know. It's
Yeah.
3:30. But going up to a stranger with any other question
My
is
bad
scary.
pitch. I know. My bad pitch is what's in your wallet? Some fucking
That is,
dumb,
but that's so,
fucking stupid
But
thing.
Willie, you don't
It
have the
would
same
work though.
problems that I do, which is like, I don't want to look like a fool. you don't have a problem with
I
that.
know.
You
You're
look
right.
like a
You're so
fool
right.
all the time.
You're right. I
So
love
like
it.
But
going up to a
isn't that part of
stranger
your
and
strategy,
doing a
Willie?
bit.
It's like you kind of
I
already you've sort of already lost in a certain way, so you can't lose anymore in any sort of interaction.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah, like you are like you're not afraid of looking foolish. You've beat them to that punch. You've taken that little chip away from them socially, and so you're able to like, all right,
Dude,
this is yeah, right.
I
Yeah,
used to
you're
joke around about
so
this. Me and
fucking right
Manischewitz
about that.
used to do
Oh
the
my
same
god.
thing where it was just like we were so used to people picking on us because we were both like set dressers and like these fucking all of the set dressers we worked with
Yeah,
were
everyone
fucking
hates set
cool
dressers.
fucking
We all
skateboarders and
know this.
There's a lot of
surfers
This is
anti-set
relatable.
from
dresserism.
Set
Venice.
dressers are the worst. You got to use a different analog, man. Like, what's a
I
set
know. Well,
dresser to
no,
anyone?
that
I don't
I'm
even know
trying to,
what a set
but I'm
dresser is.
trying to explain that right now. It's like these are old Venice surfers and skateboarders that are like used to picking on people, tough guys, you know, talking shit to anybody right away. Like that's their first thing is they talk shit to you, and so me and Matashevitz used to like rip on ourselves before they would rip on us because our rips were better than theirs. You know, it's just like off the top of their head ripping on somebody. Obviously, I'm going to get that I'm gay a lot, and you know,
I
just
don't
like
understand this though as a
surface level.
mentality for you because like you were the most popular kid in high school. College, I don't know, probably fine. Like I don't believe that anyone ever picked on you. So then you
But
come out to LA.
it's
Hang on,
all
hang on, hang
mentality,
on,
though.
hang on. So you come out to LA. I'm just working through the timeline of
Yeah,
like how
yeah.
you became to dress like Grimace every day. So
I
you
love
came out to LA and like we're like getting jobs and stuff and you're working on the art department. Oh, that's what it was. So you started working in the art department and people started bullying you. So then you went against uh society and what's it called when you fall in with the crowd? It starts with a C.
conform.
Conform. You went anti-conformity and you're like, well shit, man. Like if I'm getting made fun of right now and I look like what I think you're thinking I should look like, then why not just look like what I actually want to look like and also get made fun of, right?
Yes, yes.
You're
In
kind of
college,
leaning into the joke, I guess. You're leaning into
yeah,
it and
yeah.
owning it. Yeah, yeah.
In college, it was more like I had roommates that
Well,
were.
it's
I had a
it's
roommate that
sort
was
of
fraternity, so like I never felt comfortable in college either because I had fraternity guys like fucking not liking me, you know, and in
which
my
is a
own fucking
weird it's a
house
weird
that
and
I
the
lived
only
in.
reason you were in that position is because your roommate was in a frat,
I
but
know,
otherwise you
dude.
would
I
never be
know.
around frat guys and that wouldn't
Yeah,
have even been a thing.
totally. It took me down in a weird way.
Dude, like I have not hung out with any fraternity guys my entire life outside of like the first week of college where they're giving us free beer, right? To try and get
Yeah.
us to pledge or whatever. Um so yeah, that's
Well,
interesting. So you were
but
But I
bullied.
also had
I'm curious.
Wait,
I
go,
want
Peter.
one more question for you. Like, so like you didn't like this like time, like asking for the time thing, but like the point of that exercise is just like find the thing that like right next, like you can't do it. Find the thing right next to it that you can do, then do that a bunch of times. And you just stair step your way.
I
it's
get
a, that yeah
I
yeah.
get it. And the reason I was asking you what the next step was is because I'm curious as to how to do it because like I'm
Well, the next step
beyond.
for me after I did it, I just got used to asking people for time, and then I just got after I got so used to approaching people that I had no fear of approaching that, and so I could just ask them anything after that. It didn't have to be the time, so the thing didn't matter. It was the approach itself that was tripping me up. And
Yeah,
then once
see,
I
I'm
yeah,
stuck on the second step. I'm stuck on the if it's not time, like why am I wasting this person's time? Like I can't come up with something. I'm not. Here's what I've learned. I probably should have taken a UCB class or two because I don't think I'm a good improviser at all. And so like walking up to a guy that I have no interest in, he's just a fucking NPC to me, right?
uh-huh.
and then like asking him anything, like I have no question for him.
But
I don't know
here's the
what to
thing, though.
ask him.
This is the difference. You got to shift your mind because you are great at yes anding people that you respect.
I don't think I am. I mean, that's nice of you to say, but like people will fucking say some shit and I got nothing.
Well, I just picture times when like fucking Schraub or Harmon are on here, and I'm like I can't yes and them because I'm like focused on like anything that I need to say, and you're like just rolling with them and making them
No, but
laugh.
that was before when you thought that what you said mattered.
Right, but do you think what you think say matters? Like, or like, it's weird to like simultaneously not give a damn about the person you're going to approach, and also care deeply about what they think about you because you'd be so embarrassed. There's something in tension there.
Oh, but I only care deeply about them. I don't not give a fuck about them. I was just trying to describe
No,
like
no, I'm talking
a
about a
nothing.
random dude, the random dude that you would ask for the time for, right? Like you
Right.
said I have absolutely no interest in this NPC person to have a conversation with them at all. Like you're just using them to like to break your just their exposure therapy to you. That's what they would be.
No,
They have a
no. I
utility for you.
Well, either I misspoke or you misunderstood me.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I care very much about what they think of me.
I
I
see.
care
I see.
so much that like if I would ask them anything more than the time, I would feel bad about how much I talk to them. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but
Hmm.
I'm like walking on eggshells all the time.
I blame it on a
Yeah.
Midwestern upbringing that's just like, like,
It can't be. It can't be because you're not like that.
but I, I feel like I broke out of it, but I constantly, cared about what people think about
I
me.
don't know. It feels like you're just like diminishing my fucking experience.
No, but I have totally had off nights where like I've gone to go network and my mind was not in the right place and I just negatively spiraled and got really embarrassed and like hated being there. Like I am completely sympathetic to that state of being. You didn't decide to be like this. This is just how
I
you
know,
showed up,
Dude,
right?
it's the
Yeah.
dude.
worst thing in the fucking world. I would
Let me tell
love
you,
to go
a
out and like make friends and be like Justin Roiland. Anyone who he met, he fucking like everybody loved him, dude. And then sexual assault, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not making that point. I'm just like,
my
God damn it.
one of the dumbest experiences I have in my life was my friend was in a comedian league, women's basketball league, whatever. And I was like, hey, if you guys need a mascot, I'll fucking do it. And so all of a sudden I'm the mascot for this team. And
Do
then
you know
so
what the character was?
I was a unicorn. I was they were the Lisa
Oh,
Franks.
your
And so
famous unicorn was great. It's great.
yeah,
Don't delete your Instagram because the shots of you as the unicorn are the best.
I mean, like I had a good time doing it, even though I was still shy in the moments. Like, oh, I shouldn't yell. I don't want to affect the game, but then I would yell things. So this weird dichotomy of like, I don't want to. I don't want people to notice me, but I'm also like a fucking purple unicorn. And so, Sam Barini asked me to go to this concert with him. He got me tickets to this, and it was at the Viper Room, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, I didn't bring a change of clothes. Like, I guess I'll go to this fucking concert as a unicorn. Like
Shut
I probably
up.
shouldn't."
Shut up, dude.
So I show up at this fucking concert and they are I can't think of the name of the band, which sucks, but they all dress up like uh what's the Japanese they all dress up like kaijus.
Oh,
And so
like Mecha Monster kind of.
oh yeah, I'm wearing Mecha Godzilla, but they created their own kaijus, right?
Well, explain to me a kaiju. It's just Godzilla, right? It's just a
Yeah,
Yeah,
different
it's like
Godzilla.
big monster, yeah.
any
Yeah,
big
yeah,
monster.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, go on,
And
go on.
so they're doing this performative stuff, and at some point during the show, they're like, bring people on stage to like play their instruments while they
Shut up,
crowd
dude.
surf.
What the
So all of a
fuck? How have
sudden,
I never heard this story,
right, dude,
man?
all of a sudden I'm a unicorn on stage playing the guitar, and I don't know how to play guitar, but I can make it sound good. I was like going like playing shit. And
Well, now I'm. Yeah, I don't know if you can make a guitar sound good,
well,
but
I was doing very
you got
simple
hooves
like
on and
notes.
shit with your fucking thing. Anyway, you're killing it. It's the best day ever.
Right. And I like it was just so dumb that like in my mind there was a moment where I was like, maybe I shouldn't go out. I don't like people are gonna look at me. And then like I had such a fucking great night.
Oh my god, but dude, like oh my god, I can't believe that that's the way that the story ended up. Oh man, I just feel like I would be mortified by every second of that. Even that, even when it turned out that I was awesome and everyone loved me. Ugh, just like ugh, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me.
But also in the same vein, I have this weird thing where I'm like, well, these are just skins that this NPC is wearing, and I have no
You weren't
substance,
thinking that. You weren't thinking that
But like
at the
I get like
time.
no, I'm just like even like people be like, oh man, your color is so great. I'm like, yeah, well, let's talk. Like you know what I mean. It's just like
Well, that's like dating on fucking Tinder. Or is it Tinder?
Yeah, Tinder's one of those. Maybe you're on
I'm
Grinder.
just like I'm just like at the point now where like sure I dress up like the toy version of myself, but like it makes it also hard to talk to people because I like you're gonna say something about my outfit. I'm like, okay, cool.
So, but I guess what we're saying though with this whole thing is, and don't roll your eyes when I say this, okay? Because I know how stupid it is, but we're little cells running around. We're trying to get like little electronic connections together so that we can form like a bigger and bigger thing and feel less and less left out until we're a brain and then we're a human and now we're doing it and then we get bigger and we're the planet. It's all energy, right? I mean, I'm trying to get to a place where Willie agrees with me, where it's you're denying these. You want these connections so that you can become the brain.
Yeah. I like that. I like that analogy. Yeah, it's like, but even then, even when you step outside of yourself, it's like I still fall back into like, oh, I feel this way, but it's like you still have to keep going. You still have to keep growing, keep going.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I'm saying like you were charged energetically by like doing that. I'm wondering what the other version would have been. Which is what Peter keeps saying, which is like you just go home and go to sleep.
I shouldn't go out, man. I don't have the proper clothes.
Well, but then
Just
also you get
concert
old, right?
shirt.
And like you can't even dance anymore and stuff, and your knees hurt. So like,
Uh,
have we lost the time to network by the time our knees hurt?
I know, dude. It's close. I still go out. I won't be able to walk for a couple days, but I'm like, I gotta fucking
That's so fucked up, man. It's fucked up because like I don't crave the same things that you do, I don't think. And I'm wondering, and Peter, I'm trying to bring you back into this, but like, am I afraid of it or did I just not want it? You know?
Yeah, you got to figure that out. Like, if you're afraid of it, it can be overcome. If you don't want it, then who cares?
But what's the difference between a fear and a dislike? Like, how do you know the difference? When I walk into a room, do I dislike it or do I fear it? It feels the same to me in my chest.
Well, I usually don't dislike things in my chest. Usually that's fear. I think like it seems closer to fear to me. I don't know. I'm not. I don't exist in your body.
Yeah,
But like,
that's the
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
I guess
But
I'm just wondering what the point of the universe is, and you guys have made some good points, but I don't think we're gonna figure it out. Because that's really what we're talking about.
I know, like in my simulation, what I picture like, not that I need to figure it out, but it's like, yeah, I'm in a different realm, and like, what is the simulation to me? Like, I mean, I'll tell you, obviously, it's the problems that I have of just like communicating emotions and shit, but like, I can go dance all night.
Like I don't want to do therapy, but if you know that you're bad at communicating emotions, then just why don't you just like communicate emotions?
I know,
Is
right? I'm
that
like, part of me
is
gets a
that
little
like you
defensive
guys
and like,
telling me not to be afraid when I walk into a room?
No, we didn't. I don't think we told you not to be afraid. I think,
Well,
like, yeah, I think it's like exposure therapy isn't about not being afraid. It's about being okay with being more okay being afraid than you used to be. I don't think you ever stop being afraid. You just get a little bit more used to it, and it becomes you're more okay with it. I don't know if you're ever going to get to the point where you love it, but like it
right.
won't cripple you
If
in the
you
way it's
watch
currently.
Adam Sandler's last stand-up special, like he still has big moments of not looking comfortable on stage, and like he's like he's the thing, you know.
I think I stumbled upon something just then before you said that fucking dumb Adam Sandler thing. God damn it. Why did you say that? It totally derailed me.
What
Fuck.
repeat what
I
you?
was doing a bit at first and now I can't. Now I've lost it completely. What were you saying, Peter? What was the last thing you
Oh,
said? Just like the last sentence.
yeah. That it's you're trying to be okay with being afraid, not you're trying to not be afraid. You're trying to get like, yeah, you're just
Always going to be afraid, just a little less.
you'll just be okay with it. You're trying to just accept being afraid instead of being so completely repelled by it.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Sorry.
Sorry.
That's
Dude,
okay.
it was so deep and it had to do with so many things that you guys were saying. And I was gonna tie it
I
up
bet it was
into a
good.
really nice bow and it was gonna be fucking amazing.
Did it have to do with Grimace?
No, no, I already did the grimace bit. That was before. Fuck. Well, let's someone put us. Oh, wait, shit. Here's what I wanted to ask. Oh, okay. And here's the thing, Peter, especially. I'm down to keep talking for like an hour. If you ever are getting tired, just be like, I'm done and I'm leaving.
Sure.
My question is, we all okay. And this is like not going to be fun for the listeners, but maybe it will be. I don't know. Maybe they want to know like what we're up to. I feel like we've given them enough weird content. I want to talk some like real industry shit. Um, there was COVID, and then there was like a year where people maybe started doing something, and then there were the strikes, and they kept saying stay alive until 2025. That was the thing, right? We've
Yep.
all heard
Yep.
it.
Hmm.
And now fucking fires. So fires everywhere. People are evacuating and shit. Like, what is your plan? Is this is this gonna end? How long do you wait? And like, what's your plan? Because I don't know what the fuck to do.
So plan to like if everything just doesn't start working again.
Well, are you working right now?
Yeah, I have a day job. Like it's like tangentially related, but it's not like I'm not like on staff on any place or anything. Like I have like a job that I just go to.
So
Um,
Willie, so okay, well, amazing that you have that. If you're hiring, I'll answer phones.
uh-huh.
Like I don't have that. Like it's been 10 years since I've been able to do something like that that I'm so out of that world that they won't hire me anymore.
Mhm.
So now I'm like, oh fuck. Well, if this town doesn't start up, if I can't like con somebody into like paying me to do a pilot script, then fucked. Then I'm totally fucked. And Willie, I feel like you're going back to the talk and working a lot right now because it's ending and you're sort of going like, well, fucking I gotta get it
Show's
while I
over.
can.
My last day is Thursday. The show's over. We're wrapping the show. I don't have potential work anymore. And I'm going like, oh, I'm gonna shift into acting and voice acting. That's my but I'm
Right.
like, what do I gotta do? Just fucking social media until I get jobs?
I
Like
mean,
that.
but
That's
that's
the
the thing
plan.
though. There's fires and no one's making anything. And this was supposed to be the year that we came back and we started making
Yeah.
shit. And
Well,
then fires.
it's only the 21st. And yeah, the fires weren't great, but
I
I
don't
don't know how
know,
much
man. I
I
mean,
don't know how much it'll
Jesus.
matter.
I guess yeah, I guess maybe you're being the positive guy.
Well,
But I'm like,
I mean, like, yeah, like, I mean, but it's totally possible that everything is just done, right? And then what the fuck do you do? But
right, which is
yeah,
the question I've had for like
yeah.
the last 5 years of me not being successful. Like if I left here, what would I do?
Here
And I
here's
don't have the answer.
here's my dumb quick answer for you. Like you got I think that and this is my plan. I don't know what's going to happen.
That's all I'm
But
asking for, baby. I'm just
but I'm
asking for your guys'
I'm going to
plan.
start I'm going to start posting jobs that I did that I liked to try to manifest more of that. So like you should this is the lame pitch. This is the lame pitch, but you
Oh
should
my
post
God.
some
Oh, dude,
hold
really?
on, hold on, hold on.
Okay. I know, I
You
know, I know.
you should post some like Rick
Where
and
am I
Morty
gonna post
things
them? Because I fucking deleted Instagram.
that you like, but you should get it back. Post some things that you like that you
No,
wrote, and
man,
then
because they're like Nazis, dude. They're like our Nazis. I'm not gonna use that shit. They're
but
fucking
I'm like
Nazis and they track you all over the internet and like the government is about to like fucking get you for your sexual proclivities. It's gonna be scary. Watch out.
but like people could follow you, being like, "Hey, this is a writer, Rick and Morty," and then like people could find you. I'm gonna say like the last time I posted
Wait, if I
something
posted
trying,
Rick and Morty shit, some people would no.
I'm saying like stuff that that's just like post some of your favorite bits that you wrote from Channel 101, some of your favorite writing things you've done from jobs, just like like you need to treat that as your resume, just like post fun that like your favorite things, post your favorite things, man, trying to manifest getting more of that.
That's like the dumbest. Listen, no
I
offense.
know, dude, I know that's my
That's your
plan.
thing. I
It
get
might be the
it. I know,
dumbest
I get it.
thing
You that's your thing. It would never work for me. It would never work for me.
because
I
I'm like
can't.
because like I don't know how else to get a job, and then I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just post what I want to do, post things that I've done that I want to do in the future.
Well, Peter, am I wrong? I mean, should I side with the Nazis to post some skits?
Well, if we're talking about like what will open you up to serendipity, not doing something and doing something, it's better to do something than to not. Whatever that
Yeah,
thing
but what if
is.
doing
Yeah.
something is siding with the Nazis?
Okay. So like if siding with if doing something
Are
is
you
siding with
glad
the
that you are you
Nazis.
glad that you came? Are
No,
you
I'm
glad that
totally,
you're on
totally,
the
I'm
show?
totally fine. But this was a question that actually existed in history, right? Like there are people that I
Yeah, who
mean,
profited off Nazis? Yeah,
no, who also just in order to survive, they had to not speak out against the Nazis, which is a little
sure,
different than
sure.
siding with them, right? So I don't think you're siding with them if you post
Okay,
on their platform. So that's
okay.
not quite that's so you're not siding with them. So I'm taking that, removing that off the table. You're not like you are. You can say you're complicit. Okay, and that might be true.
I
There's
was
some,
apathetic. Yeah, I was
yeah,
complicit in my apathy.
yeah, and like you know, like I think of like someone like Lang's wife. Like Fritz Lang was the Jewish filmmaker who did Metropolis, and his wife was the screenwriter of Metropolis, and she was a German nationalist, which the German Nationalist Party eventually became the Nazi Party, and she joined the Nazi Party because it was very early on in the days, and like I mean she was married to a Jew and then married to an East Indian guy, so she's not the poster child for Nazism, but and I think she took a hit because the Nazis went out of power, right? But like you can choose some other horrible regime like Stalin's regime, anybody that sided with Stalin is fine. Like even though Stalin fell and he did bad things, but
Like
like
people don't, yeah, it wasn't
yeah,
enough for us to recognize who Stalin was with.
right. And it just didn't matter. And like, there were plenty of like great artists that worked under Stalin, was complicit in Stalin's USSR, and it was fine for them.
Yeah, but
And their career was fine.
it also felt a little sadder because I don't know why Russia just seems very oppressive, you know?
Sure, but like, but okay, you exist in this USSR. What are you gonna do? Like, you don't decide to get to opt out of it. I guess you can, but like, but I would just have a I would be complete. Yeah, I guess I would if the choice was between siding with the Nazis and doing
Yeah.
nothing and just existing as like yeast, like being some like just merely eating,
Well,
you know.
you could do the and this is like an honest question that I'm actually thinking about. Like let's say that it goes down and it is like fucking Nazi Germany
Uh-huh.
and ICE is coming around, fucking they're taking your neighbors. Well, because you're in LA, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we're all like this is like there's a lot
Oh,
of people here
your
that
parents weren't
probably
born here, even though you were, but you're out. Boom,
and
boom,
then
boom. All of a sudden,
Willie, like your brother and stuff. Like
yeah, he's out, man.
all I'm saying is like, what are you really gonna do? Like, are you gonna
Nothing. We had this play with the Japanese in like the 40s. You do nothing is
you
what you're gonna do.
personally is what I'm saying.
Oh, me personally, if I lived if it was World War II, it's FDR, and he's rounding up the Japanese into internment camps.
Sure.
What would I do? Probably nothing. I don't think I would be so different from the rest of the country. Like what
Right.
I
And
might what
then but
some
then
people
how
might
do
have
you
done, yeah.
well, I'm just
Like
wondering
yeah.
how do you kind of like make yourself okay with that? Like sort of knowing that you're doing the wrong thing, you know?
Well, I think you wait for opportunities to do the right thing and you try to do them as early as you can safely feel. Uh,
Slow
yeah,
con,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
long
Like
play.
because it doesn't make sense to be because the other version is just be a martyr.
Well,
Like
yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's what I keep
yeah,
thinking about. It's like
yeah.
here's honestly what I keep thinking about is like I kind of want to write a thing or whatever, but it's like so real now that maybe it's not a thing where um yeah, everything I'm saying ice starts coming taking my neighbors and stuff. But then I sign up for ice and then I start taking those people away, and then I kind of like rise up through the ranks and become like a super secret agent. Uh, do you guys think I should do that?
So like
What's
you're
your goal?
kicking people out while you're trying to raise the ranks to try to destroy them from
Oh,
internally.
whoa! Is that the way that came across? No, no. I rise up through the ranks. I eventually get to somewhere close to Trump or not, and I start swaying the opinion. I start like working my magic. Hey, man, I don't think that's the best thing to do. And then I get in there and I blow it up. And if there's any resurgence, I'm their fucking top guy. You know, I'm like send this note down to there, to there, to there, and then it'll get to the Underground Railroad, and but I'll be up here, man. So I'm thinking of joining ICE. Is the point?
What? Yeah. Okay. Cool. If you can't beat him, join him, I guess, is the classic move.
Yeah, until all of the shit that I said, where I bring it down from the inside, man.
Okay.
Ah, what a fucking saint I would be, and I would take no money.
I mean, it's funny to say that. Sorry, it's funny to say that now and then get the job and then not be able to take them down, and you're just like the top guy.
Well, yeah, I am wondering. I am wondering
You're like,
about
oh, but they
my
got such a great 401k.
Yeah,
Ooh,
no,
I
no,
don't
no. Listen,
know.
here's the thing. That's definitely the comedy bit where I'm like, well, but this is pretty good. My comedy bit is that I'm not good enough at like this whole networking thing that we've been talking about that I could rise the ranks to get up high enough where it would matter. So then I'm just like some guy who's like, the fucking boots
You're
on the
like
Some
ground
con.
you're
ice.
Yeah.
like making like racist comments, but like not loud enough. Oh, those fucking guys.
Why is that guy mumbling over there? I wish he was saying something racist. But I do think like maybe this should be my thing. Like, and maybe this will be the last time that I'm ever photographed, right? Like, what if tomorrow I just sign up for ICE and you guys and all of our listeners are the last ones who know that I'm doing it to help. So, therefore, like I'm a guy on the inside. And or am I being too like a handmaid's tale about this? Like, do you guys think that the future is this fucked?
I personally don't like,
I
but
don't either.
yeah. I mean, I just personally like
I'm
don't
I'm
think that.
hoping I'm hoping actually things do get bad so that the next generation is just like, okay, we got to rethink all this instead of everyone going like, well, eventually the Democrats will come back. You know what I mean? It's like just waiting for good shit to happen. It's like, no, we got to act.
I but it's just kicking the can down the road, right? I mean, so like, and listen,
So what you want is a final solution, is what you're saying.
I'm not sure. Here's what I really want. Here's what I really want. All right. If you look at my life and like where I the time frame that I grew up, right? So kind of the first time that I thought about conflict, we did like the Gulf War or whatever. So like from an early age, I was like, oh, we're at war. Well, I guess that's normal. And then, hearing about fucking Vietnam bullshit, World War II, suck my dick, who cares? World War I, oh my God, I don't even remember that.
Trench? What's a trench?
Yeah, what's a trench? What's trench warfare? That sounds sexual innuendo.
Spent more time digging ditches. I don't know. Yeah, shut up.
So whatever. And then like fucking 9/11 happens, and then COVID happens, and then like I could go on and on about like the fucking things that have happened in my life, but I'm wondering if that's why I'm jaded because like nothing good has ever happened. I don't remember one good thing ever happening. But is that like for everybody? Is every generation like that? Because like you think about like my dad's generation, it's like World War II. I mean, it's the same shit. So just every 20 years we're gonna have like a new fucking thing that makes life suck.
I don't know where. I'm just going to quick answer my thoughts when because I keep asking this in the history of humans, who wasn't corrupted? Who's an example of a human that still wanted to do good despite all the fucking bullshit? Carl Sagan, man.
Jesus
Carl
Christ,
Sagan.
Dude, it sounded so much like you were leading to Jesus Christ. And then you said Carl Sagan. Holy shit.
Carl Sagan is my inspiration
Wow.
of a humanitarian who, like, despite everything, like, constantly challenged and wanted to
but a hero is
get
just a
people.
villain who didn't live long enough or whatever that thing is, right? I mean, like, what did Carl Sagan die of? Was he old?
I think he died pretty old. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so he had integrity the whole time, and he was
dude.
good at like doing science and stuff.
But
yeah,
and so like I picture
why
I
would
want
I be
Star Trek
inspired to him though?
No, I know. I'm just saying like you got to find your inspirational dude.
Oh my God, it's Matt Damon. I found him like fucking 20 years ago. Matt Damon.
Is it because of the Bourne Identity and you should be fighting?
No.
I love the Bourne Identity. That's all. Yeah, he
had a whole career before Bourne Identity. I think it's because he loves clean water.
Well, but here's the thing. So your goal for the near future is to write a movie for Matt Damon.
Peter didn't say his though.
Wait, my what? What's the question?
So Willie's got Carl Sagan. I got Matt Damon. Who's your what? How did you phrase it, Willie?
Who is someone that wasn't corrupted that you believe in and is a good example for your life, I guess.
Who
Yeah,
wasn't
who's the
corrupted?
ultimate pillar? Who's the ultimate pillar of who you look up to?
Huh. I don't know.
So,
Like,
well, while you think about that, I want to talk to Willie about that. My Matt Damon answer was a joke, and I don't think I have one, and it's weird. Do you really actually have one? You have a guy who you're like Carl Sagan, man. That's what I want to be like, or is it more? It's less about you wanting to be like them and more about like power didn't corrupt this person.
Well, and George Carlin, those two to me, George Carlin and Carl Sagan, those two guys are people that, and I listen, I haven't studied enough people in history to actually like, because like, oh, Abraham Lincoln, whatever, like uh
Oh, that guy was a
classic
total sellout.
historical figures, but I'm just like, no, no, no. These two people kept it real when shit was against them, and they, I think, have ideas that can progress humanity in a way that I want it to be progressed.
well, I have like sort of a a a snotty answer to this question. Like, if you found yourself in the novel 1984, you would want to be O'Brien. Because O'Brien gets to know absolutely everything. He has a fantastic life, and he doesn't have to suffer from all the worst parts of the dystopia of 1984. Like, and I think O'Brien has as much has integrity. He does what he wants or whatever. Like, it's just these narratives of like good guys and bad guys gets a little, I don't know, it's a little weird because like you can have integrity and be like John Wilkes Booth had integrity. He really believed it, right?
I
But
know,
it's like
dude. I
no, it's
know.
less
You're so
about
right.
well, no, but it's less about all that shit. It's more subjective to you. Like, is there a person in history who you have felt like made all the right moves, who you like really look up to?
Hmm.
That's a good way to phrase it, because it's like, yeah, we're all skewed by whatever we read, believe, all the things. Who's your hero?
You know who I think is really good, like who doesn't get enough credit, like is RuPaul. RuPaul is really, really good at selling the exact same show a million times, being fairly likable. And like I read RuPaul's autobiography from the 90s, like fairly recently, because I was just sort of curious about RuPaul. And I'm not gay. I don't really care about like gay icons or anything, but like RuPaul as an entertainer creative, I don't think has made one wrong move ever.
that's that's interesting. Like, successful continuously, and
Yeah, and like yeah, and on the level of Pee Wee Herman or like like all of these like, and also RuPaul's power pretty much has only increased, only gone
yeah,
up through time. It wasn't like, oh yeah, RuPaul was that thing from the 80s. Totally could have been that. Like Elvira was a thing from the 80s and she's kind of okay. RuPaul
yeah.
just continues to, so my answer is RuPaul.
Wow, it's weird because if you compare the track record of RuPaul to Donald Trump, RuPaul could get political. Like Donald
Yeah,
Trump was just a
I guess
celebrity.
Donald Trump has a similar trajectory, right? Of building upon success. Although there was a down, like, but
But what was the down? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Before
Well,
what
the
like,
down was like the Biden's win would be a little bit of a down.
but
That would definitely
that's
be a
like
setback.
at the peak of, yeah. You're right, but I'm
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
up until then,
Up
like he
until then,
was
it fits. Yeah,
movies, WWE, like celebrity, like the example of rich, the example of a New Yorker, like stereotype, typical, like something to look up to
sure.
until it was not.
I would say that RuPaul is an amazing answer. Um, but I'm wondering like
I don't think RuPaul has made one wrong move. I mean, if you're gonna like, I don't that I'm aware of. There's been some controversy on certain things, but I just probably would have sided with RuPaul on it. So
But doesn't it feel like, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, she hasn't. Even when she does the he, and I don't know his name, but he also didn't he judge
He had a
stuff?
show, yeah.
She
Yes.
would like, so it's like, what the fuck? This is like an enigma. Like, you're right, dude. Like, that's a crazy, like, they haven't done anything bad at all. And it feels so slippery stare that they could have, you know?
yeah. And maybe this will age really poorly in a year. Who knows? But from my point
Well,
of view, right
listen, for
now,
right now,
yeah,
for
it's a good
right
answer.
now,
Yeah.
January 21st, 2025 at 10:11 p.m. on the West Coast. Uh yeah, RuPaul has done nothing wrong. And you're goddamn, I never even would have thought of her. That's cool. Because Drag Race too, she's also like doing shit. She's not
There's
just
like
like
Yeah, yeah,
sitting
yeah,
back.
yeah. I
20
like I
shows, constant guests on tons of things,
And
and not
how has Drag Race like gotten through this? Like, there are people who
yes.
are voting against trans shit. And I know trans and drag is not the same thing. I don't need to hear it. All I'm saying is, to those idiots, it feels very much the same. So like, how are they watching like RuPaul's drag
There's
race, and then,
big active fights against drag reading children's stories, which
oh,
is happening
sure,
across America.
yeah, which is just like fucking stupid. But like, my question is, how has RuPaul done it? Like, for real?
well, I think RuPaul is very positive as part of the secret. Like it's a very, very positive glass half full outlook all the time. I think RuPaul also tries not to doesn't wade into controversy very much, like
Yeah.
just for the sake of it. Just kind of like keeps doing what they're
Focus
doing.
on
Yeah.
the individual,
I
it's
mean,
like bringing power to your individual, whatever you're doing, like you're
so
great.
here's what we have to do, you guys. Our new documentary company that's gonna happen, that we're gonna do, right? That we've invented tonight. First, we're doing the expose on the
On the
breakfast
food
pyramid,
pyramid.
the food
That's good.
pyramid.
Yeah.
Secondly, we're just gonna do a deep dive into RuPaul. No, no, we're not trying to bust her up or anything. Just like, how the fuck did this happen? Like, for real. How did RuPaul, like, where was that first thing? She was the first drag, right? The first drag queen
That got,
that,
I mean, like you could argue, who's the old filmmaker with the thin mustache? There was that oh fuck, Crybaby.
John
oh,
Waters.
John Water?
Yeah, John Waters,
Yeah,
saying the characters in his
Divine.
movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
Divine,
with
Divine.
Divine.
Divine,
Yeah,
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 sure.
yeah.
Okay.
But
There were other drag queens
No,
before
but I just
RuPaul. But
mean,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
she
yeah,
is
yeah.
definitely the most, probably the
yes,
first or around the first, and the most
but
successful.
Successful. Yeah,
people
successful.
may have been against Divine. Everyone was cool with RuPaul from the beginning. I mean, like,
Well, who knows? Maybe that's what our documentary will discover, that people weren't so cool when she started out. And that's why we
Well,
need to cut this
I read her
short.
autobiography, and it does
You
seem to
did?
be.
Dude,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
what?
yeah. Well, there's two.
Oh, I
I read the
forgot you brought her up.
really.
You brought her up, so it
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense that you read it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I read the early one, and I really liked it. Like, and RuPaul is yeah, like they've had some controversies in little things or whatever, but like uh yeah, RuPaul is just really really positive, and I think that does help.
I mean, that's what I was saying the whole time, right?
Yeah, so
Like,
I'm agreeing with this, and like you should practice. You should try to get good at being positive by practicing it. And I
dude,
do
that's
think,
the whole
yeah,
thing. That's what I've
yeah,
been using this podcast to do. Like, we did a sigil episode like 3 weeks ago or whatever, and now I'm like drawing sigils to like put my positivity into them. I don't know if you know anything about that.
a little bit, yeah, but yeah, I guess, just do that for a while. See what shakes loose.
Yeah, but I do think that it's all simulation. I really do. And I think like that shit is just a way to like tap into it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you. That's why that's a thing.
But does that help with like the whole beginning, middle, end of our talk?
Yes.
Like did I pontificate? I guess I'm just trying to put a button on it. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
guys, like this is the end.
Yeah.
No,
That's another way to do it.
yeah, exactly. So let's really do the end.
Uh,
Uh, so once again, it's a NP Armageddon, and what
yeah.
you could just Google it, right?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to
NPR
find.
Mageddon. People can find it.
Yeah.
And do you have any kind of like are you completely focused on that for now, or are you thinking of something new?
Oh yeah, I mean I've got other little things in the hopper, but they're not done. NPR Armageddon is done and I'm continuing to work on it. So that is of the most
That's
salience.
what's
Yeah.
cool. It's like it's done, but it's still growing. It's amazing.
But yeah. But
Are you gonna go
do
back? So are you gonna go back to it? So it's like, is it like season one is
yeah,
done and
season one
then
is done. It has 11 episodes. And we're just about done writing season two. I've started recording a little bit of it. It takes a while. Farm to table, this stuff takes a while.
how do you
But yeah,
record people?
it varies. Like sometimes I'll go to their house and just I have recording equipment. Sometimes they'll come to me. I also have a recording studio that I will rent out sometimes if I get a bigger name, so
What?
they don't feel
Wow.
so spooked.
Do you ever
So
just do it over the internet like this?
I have done that too. Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with sound. So like, and especially people now have
Yeah.
good mics now that like it's totally possible. I've done it every single way. And
Oh
what's interesting
shit.
is like
I'm
NPR
so
also just does it. NPR also just has lots of different styles of microphones, so it sounds good no matter how you do
Well,
it.
sure. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. You can't lose on a production value
yeah,
because it can be like, well, NPR does it too.
yeah.
We didn't even get into this, which I feel so bad about this, but like, just real quick, if you can,
Yeah.
how did you get the bad girl from the villain from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
That one's pretty easy. My co-writer creator Brian, his day job is in video games, and she also does a lot of VO from video games. So he had worked with her previously for her
Wow.
doing some voiceover for video
So
games, and
still like, because that was like 20 years ago or whatever. So she's still just out there doing stuff.
she's still out there. Yeah, she'll go to cons, and she's still. I mean, there was a Power Ranger movie that came out last year or year before that she did the voice of Rita for. Like she still does that. And yeah, she was great. I wore my Power Ranger shirt. Like I bought a Power Ranger shirt from Target. What was great is like, the obesity epidemic made it so like little kids' clothes got in bigger sizes. So
Oh
like
my
I could wear
gosh.
so I could wear like a extra large little kid shirt. So I had
I've
this
thought
great Power
about
Ranger
that
shirt.
so much.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so she's like signed my shirt. So I have Barbara Goodson sign my Power Ranger shirt. She was great. And she's got that great voice. And yeah, she's a working voice actress. And that's how we got her. We get
Wow.
through the network of that. Yeah, that was one of the less interesting ways I got somebody was like
Well,
that.
so who was you got who died? Who died? What
Fred
who was it?
Willard.
Fred Willard and
Oh,
Harlan Ellison
Willard.
both
How'd
passed
Fred
you
away.
how'd
Willard.
you get
Sorry, Fred
Willard?
Ward is a different guy. Yeah.
Fred Willard, I knew a cinematographer that had shot with Fred Willard once upon a time many years ago and happened to have his email. And so
And it
because of
was
he was
that easy. Just
and
like
so and I
fucking
e and I
send an
emailed
email.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I sent him
Awesome.
an
That's
email.
awesome.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing about Fred Willard is like I don't know. He must have been good with money. He must have been fine with money, I mean, right? Like he was in so much shit.
Yeah, no, but I just think he was of a generation. He
No,
just don't
no,
leave free money on the
I'm just
table.
saying,
Yeah.
like we got him on Web Soup. Like he was like an easy guy to get, and I
Yeah, he
think
was easy
that
to get.
just
Yeah.
means that he just wanted to like
He liked working.
fuck around and do shit,
Yeah, yeah, he
like
liked working.
because it's like it's a fucking Yeah, I'm gonna come up. I don't know. It's like playing pretend your whole life.
Yeah,
I know.
he had a blessed life.
He
He didn't he
definitely played his whole life, right? Fucking
And
awesome.
like whatever about him jerking off, whatever. He doesn't understand the computers yet.
Yeah, that was funny because like that kind of came and went. Like people didn't hold that against him very much.
Not
Yeah.
at all, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Pee Wee Herman or anything where they thought he was like a pedophile or whatever they were doing.
Yeah, and he was at a theater that still existed, porno
Yeah,
theater. Like,
for that. For that.
I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck off.
it took me all of my fortitude not to mention that when I was recording him because I was like, it'd be so cool to ask him about that, but like he might
Oh
hate
man.
me. So I was like, I decided not to. We just
Yeah,
asked
I
about
don't
other
think
things.
I think that's a good call, man. I
Yeah,
don't
but
think.
like, but you're just sitting there thinking about it. You know,
Yeah, but then do you go with that rule where you're like, do you regret that now? Like, should you have walked through that door?
no. I don't regret that. Like, because like my goal isn't to make some to put somebody up against the on their back foot. You know, like my goal is to be pro-social.
Well,
Like,
that yeah, I mean that's
yeah,
what I'm saying, man.
that's an antisocial thing to bring up. You know.
Sure. So that wouldn't be the second thing you ask people after what's the time?
Well, I
Hey
used to
man,
like. Well,
did
I
you ever
used to really
jerk
like.
off in a movie theater?
Yeah.
I ask
Well,
everyone this question.
Well, I used to really like
Sorry,
I
Fred.
definitely had this mindset of like I really liked getting reactions out of people when I was younger. And so like I was totally okay with certain people hating me. I
Yeah.
thought that was fine. That and I have a very big antisocial streak that has hurt me in the past. At a certain point I realized, "Oh wait, I could try to get these people to like me. That might be better for me." And so then I became a sweetie. But like that was like a conscious decision not to just be a complete alienating weirdo, which I really, really enjoyed.
Yeah, yeah,
I really
yeah.
enjoyed alienating normal people that or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so
But you overcame that because you knew that you
it just
couldn't
wasn't
beat Fred Willard.
it wasn't serving me. It wasn't serving me well because like I would just like
Yeah,
want people to
it's a
remember
negative.
me.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
I could definitely get people to remember me. And like I was friends with in college. I was friends with a bunch of foreign exchange students because I lived on the foreign exchange student floor.
Okay.
And they all gave me like Christmas cards, like because that was part of their one of their things. And one of their Christmas cards was like, Peter, thank you for being my friend, even though you hurt my feelings sometimes. You know, like it's like in a this was like the sentimental card. And you're just like, yeah. I need to rethink some of this, what I'm
Yeah.
doing here.
Oh,
That's probably not the best signal.
that
So
is the worst. Yeah,
I've
man.
become a sweetie.
You got to grow. This is
Yeah.
great. You got to grow.
That's interesting. But that's a one for one. That's like, boom. Oh shit. I suck. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, you reckon like everyone and I kept being confronted with like if I was if I was different, you wouldn't find yourself in this situation. You could actually be nice, like
Right, right, right.
it's an actual option here.
Oh my god, man. All right. Well, fuck. We should wrap it up, right?
Yeah, let's get out.
I had such a great time. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Come back
Oh,
anytime,
dude.
man.
Yeah.
If you can put up with us fucking talking bullshit, you're welcome back anytime.
Well, thanks
Because
a
I
lot,
feel
Wade.
like half of the
It's great
shit I
meeting you.
said didn't make sense.
No, I think you're very cogent. I thought this was
Yes.
a good show. So,
Yes. Just
but
fishing for compliments.
but yeah, but honestly though, I do think you are right that you should be more positive. You like listen to that instinct. You are
I
correct.
know. Thank you. You're right.
And it won't be an immediate like it's a system that you got to work.
I'm
And
working on it.
and I
I got
encourage you to do
sigils and
that. I
everything
think
now.
Here's the thing,
I'm
yeah.
though.
lining them up.
I'm jumping. I'm agreeing. I'm yes-ending Peter, but going like that. You got to think of it as this: like it's not to be positive to get other people to react to you in any way. It's for you to react to yourself in a better way. Like don't think of it
Hey,
as like
man.
a help
If I had
That's
a
stepping
million
deep. That's
stone.
dollars,
deep.
I would react to myself all the right ways. So right now it's just about getting that money. I don't know if you can't hear this, right?
I
My
can't.
cat's going
Puking?
nuts. My
No.
cat's going nuts. Anyway, we should wrap it up. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I don't think you can hear it. Should I just do the ending? Are we good? Has
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
said what they needed to say?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, thanks again for being here, and come back anytime. And remember that it's called NPRmaggedon. It's Peter Podgursky. NPRmaggedon. It's like NPR, but like Mad Max times. My cat's going crazy, and thanks for listening. Thank you for being a Patreon. And remember that everything that was taught to you was taught to them by someone else.